Heyo, what's up, guys? It's Gamer with Taste here. So this video is going to be about how excited I am for Borderlands 4. Now, today is December 13th. So it was just yesterday that Borderlands 4 had the gameplay trailer release, and I am excited for Borderlands 4. I know there's a lot to be cautious about as far as Borderlands goes. Like, let's be real. What Borderlands has been giving its fan base is pretty horrible, pretty bad. Like, I mean, you go back to Borderlands 3, Borderlands 3 wasn't all that bad, right? Borderlands 3 wasn't really a bad game. The only thing that was bad about it was so much dialogue that you just had to sit through. You just had to. And then uh, Eden 6 was kind of a slog to get through. Once you beat the game once, there were plenty of aspects about the game that were just a slog for the second, third, fourth time that you played the game. And you would play the game through four times if you wanted to play through on every single Vault Hunter. If you were dumb enough to make the mistake of playing on the second playthrough on a character, like I was, you'd play through up to 8 times, and it was just horrible. It was just horrible experience. But regardless of that, Borderlands 3 was a pretty good game. There was plenty of builds out there for it. There was a lot of build diversity, and the DLC skill trees were kind of hit and miss, but I think there was a lot of content in those skill trees as far as furthering build diversity is concerned. And then you go to Wonderlands. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is another game that they pretty much gave us. It's supposed to be its own standalone like title, but we all know that it's going to have influences on Borderlands. We all know that. There's no way it won't, right? So I mean, Wonderlands was a lot of fun. The story in Wonderlands was actually really, really good, I think. I've heard a few people talk smack on the Wonderlands story, but I really, truly don't get it. Like, I understand the whole frustration with it not really having anything to do with the actual Borderlands world, but it does flesh out Tiny Tina as a character even more. It does flesh out Roland as a character even more, which is really good because his death was basically a meme in Borderlands 2. It's always going to be a meme as far as Borderlands 2 is concerned because he just gets one shot. But yeah, I mean, I did really enjoy the story in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands because it really did explain a lot of the relationship between Tina and Roland. And I mean, I could go on about that, but I'm not going to. But then they started doing stuff like um there was new tales from the Borderlands, and oh my god. Yeah, that's Corduroy. You're hearing Corduroy. He's got a lot to say. Anyways, they did new tales from the Borderlands, and my god, that was horrible. It felt like they defecated in my skull just to see how they would do about it. Just to be like, hey, grade my steaming hot pile of garbage in your skull. Oh yeah, that's a 10 out of 10 defecation right there. Thank you, Gearbox. Thank you. That's how it felt playing that game. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what they were thinking. Everyone hated most of the characters. Some people actually enjoyed some, like, I found it very divisive, actually, amongst the fan base. But we could all agree that it was horrible, right? But exactly why it was horrible wasn't necessarily agreed upon, which I thought was kind of interesting. And I did find good things in New Tales from the Borderlands as far as world building is concerned. I mean, they have a gun that can heal anyone, bring anyone back to life, right? And no one sees the value in it. No one. The value for the medical field is completely non-existent in the Borderlands universe, at least according to New Tales from the Borderlands. And I mean, if you think about that a little bit more, about how useless this world considers healing people, it really does answer a lot of interesting questions, like why is Dr. Zed the only reputable doctor? Like, I mean, look, Dr. Zed isn't necessarily a doctor you can trust per se, but at the same time, he does give us shields and he does give us stuff that does heal us. It's not like his healing doesn't work. It's not like he gives us stuff that's faulty. He is legitimately helping out people who have the money to buy his medication and shields, right? And say what you want about Dr. Zed, but his stuff works. It's not like it doesn't work. But so to me, he's the only real legitimate doctor in the Borderlands universe because, I mean, there's Doc Mercy. He actually has a medical license. And what does he do? He murders people, right? He's a murderer, right? Dr. Zed is the only legitimate doctor. He doesn't even have a medical license. So it does kind of put that into perspective as far as, yeah, the Borderlands universe just does not value healing at all. Like, at all. Healing people is a joke in the Borderlands universe, which kind of makes sense why Dr. Zed is such a joke. You know, like, there are certain things that make sense in the context of New Tales from the Borderlands, but playing through New Tales from the Borderlands was so horrible. It was an insult to charge money for that experience. So I'm a little mad at Gearbox for that one. But I thought there was another one that they did. There was something they did the Borderlands movie. That's right. Then they came out with the Borderlands movie. So my whole point with this is Gearbox is not necessarily 100% to be trusted with Borderlands 4, right? So why would I be excited? Well, I mean, the trailer came out, and I'll be honest, it looks good. It looks really good. I mean, there wasn't very much gameplay, and that kind of sucked. I wish there was more gameplay in the gameplay reveal trailer, but I mean, you win some, you lose some. You don't get what you wish for all the time, and we did get some glimpses. I mean, what we saw looked good. The enemies looked really cool. The graphics looked top notch. But the thing that I'm really concerned about more than anything is the general attitude of the game. Like, New Tales from the Borderlands did not take itself seriously one bit. And it showed. It made itself a joke, and it was all the worse for it. The Borderlands movie wasn't even based off of the franchise. It wasn't even based off of the existing games. And I feel like that, like, why do the movies have to portray a different universe of Borderlands than the games? Like, I don't really get it. And honestly, if you watched the Borderlands movie, it didn't really take itself too seriously either. Now, Borderlands in general doesn't really take itself all that seriously, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Borderlands 2 worked its jokes in mostly through Handsome Jack and his sarcastic asshole personality. And it worked so well. It works so well because Handsome Jack is the sarcastic asshole, right? So, yeah, he would be making jokes. Like he's a psychopathic, sarcastic asshole, right? So, he was the perfect conduit. He was the perfect conduit for the Borderlands sense of humor. And there were more humor. There was more humor scattered about. The more you played Borderlands 2, the more you realize, man, there's a lot of dialogue that really just they like the voice actors were just rushing through. It really sounded like the voice actors were just rushing through the dialogue, and they just wanted to get through it as fast as possible because they knew that there was so much dialogue going into Borderlands 2 that you would be able to skip dialogue with other dialogue. So they would want to rush through their lines as quickly as possible so you could hear as much as possible before you skipped over it with more dialogue. That's what it felt like. And that's what ended up happening. I mean, that's what it was, right? I really hope there's less dialogue in Borderlands 4, but the enemies in that trailer look good. They look great. The graphics look amazing, and the tone, the attitude seems pretty serious, right? Like, there really weren't very many jokes. Like, if you go back and you look at the, I don't know if it was the gameplay, I think it was the gameplay trailer, but the marketing campaign for Borderlands 3, I mean, they were dancing and twirling around, and there were roses being thrown everywhere while they were shooting people, and it really didn't take itself very seriously, and it didn't really set a serious tone. The whole, I mean, they used the song like "My Love Has Come Along," you know, like thank God it's Borderlands 3. My love, Borderlands is it's back, and it works. It wasn't a bad marketing strategy, but it really wasn't taking itself all that serious. And I think the thing that fans of Borderlands really, really need right now is a Borderlands installment that takes itself seriously and will actually build upon the world and give us some lore that matters rather than some trash, garbage, nonsensical lore that New Tales from the Borderlands gave us. Other than rebuilding what lore we have to work with or think about with a movie series that is completely detached from the game series, instead of giving us Tiny Tina's Wonderlands where, like, I mean, yeah, characters were fleshed out and the story was good, but it really has nothing to do with the actual Borderlands universe. You know, like, it really doesn't build upon anything other than two characters, right? So I really do think that they really need a game that takes itself seriously, builds upon the lore, and has good villains. And let me tell you, these villains look pretty decent. They look pretty good. I like them. I really like Callus right now. Callus is looking really, really good. I love the two arms, and then she's dangling in the middle. And I think it's kind of supposed to resemble a vault, right? Because those two arms kind of arch up, and it kind of makes a heart with her dangling in the middle, kind of. But I'm pretty sure it's supposed to resemble a vault symbol, very vaguely. If yeah, at least vaguely. Supposed to be vaguely reminiscent of a vault symbol, I believe. But now there's like cyborg psychos. That's something we've never seen before, and they're all controlled by like the psycho mask, which it's such a great idea to have them controlled by a psycho mask, because the psycho mask is like the quintessential Borderlands theme, and it's supposed to be like the symbol for the insanity that overtakes all the psychos and the bandits. So it's like the perfect thing. It's perfect. It works. It just works. I was thinking about Fallout 76. It just works. But then there's the other guy, the Timekeeper. He looks cool. He looks really cool. I don't exactly know him all that well. I don't think anyone really knows him all that well. We have a little bit of lore. Eruption Fang probably knows the most on him, but even then, we're pretty limited. But it is an interesting concept, and it does give us quite a bit to think about as far as what the consequences of these Vault Hunters failing on their quest would mean for Pandora and all the galaxies in the universe and whatever and whatnot. And this is like the third vault that's related to something bigger. I think it's related to the Timekeeper. Apparently, there were three vaults or vault guardians that relate to each other, and this is the third one. Whatever, it's fine. We'll find out more in Borderlands 4, I'm sure. Obviously, we're going to get more guns. We have 4 new Vault Hunters. We're going to have a new worlds to explore, new areas to explore, new enemies to shoot at. Like, obviously, things are going to be new. It's going to be a new Borderlands, but I'm convinced that the enemies are going to be really, really cool, and the villains are going to be good villains. Now, whether or not that's true is yet to be seen, but I think they're learning how much we hate when their games don't take themselves seriously. This trailer seems to take itself very seriously. Very, very seriously. And there's not a whole lot of nonsense in this trailer, and there's a lot of serious scenes and implications in it. And I think that indicates and implies that we're going to get a game that's a little bit more serious. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but that's the vibe I'm getting, and I like it. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what they do. Now, a lot of people I'm seeing are commenting on how bland the 4 Vault Hunters look. And I get it. Look, I get it. They do look bland. It's not like they don't look bland. They certainly do. However, I mean, they're the Vault Hunters. Like, yeah, we're going to be playing as them, but I mean, we're going to be playing as them. You know, we're going to be in first person. Like, yeah, we're going to be customizing them, and hopefully the customizations should always be top notch. I honestly thought the customizations in Borderlands 3 were kind of mid because it gave you the illusion of customization, but as soon as you started customizing a lot of this stuff the way you thought it would look, just it doesn't look like it. You know, like a lot of the customizations that you wanted to work just didn't really work. They ended up looking weird or confusing, or, you know, there was, you know, one color just took over way too much of the outfit of the skin that you equipped, and really you really couldn't customize too much. And I don't know. Of course, the customization needs to be good. I'm not too worried about it though, because it's just appearances. That's really all it is. It's just appearances. You can complain, bitch, and moan about how the 4 Vault Hunters look, but I don't care, okay? I'm here to play the game, okay? If you don't buy the game because the characters don't look good, I don't know what to tell you, my dude. Like, you're complaining about a little bit too much at that point. If there's any slack that I am willing to give Gearbox, it's how the Vault Hunters look. That is the slack I'm willing to give them, because I'm going to be playing a first-person shooter. All right, if the action skills are fun, if the guns are fun, if the gear that I equip are fun, what do I care how they look? Like, I don't even get to see them for the most part. So I don't know. Like, I get it. Some people really care about the character that they play as. You know, they want to feel like they're in the universe and have a purpose in this universe, and that their character is someone special, someone cool, someone badass, someone that means something, someone that stands out. But when you're given a bland looking person that looks exactly the same as the other 3 people, it is a little bit hard to be like, yeah, I feel special as this guy. This is the one that I want to gravitate towards. You know, I get it, but at the same time, how valuable really is it? Honestly, to me, it's just not that valuable. And I'm willing to cut them slack in that area specifically, before anything else. And there's a lot of people saying, oh, well, I'm holding off on gameplay footage. Yeah, probably should. I'm getting a little excited, but that's only because from what I'm seeing so far, they're doing a good job. They're doing good. And I hope they keep it up, and I hope that they don't completely flop on this one, because they've given us absolute piles of defecation, and we've eaten it, and we've told them, you fed us absolute garbage, and they're just like, all right, you should be nicer to us though, you know. Look, I love Borderlands. I'm going to end up buying whatever Borderlands sells at this point, which shows you where I stand. I don't care. Like, I'm not going to pass up the opportunity to play a good Borderlands game as soon as it drops just because I'm worried that it's going to be bad. That's just me. Like, you can disagree with it however much you like. You can be like, oh, you're supporting bad game development. You're not punishing them enough for feeding us slop and garbage. They have fed us slop and garbage, but whatever. It's my money to spend, not yours. I have faith that it's going to be fun at the very least. But yeah, I don't know. I think they're doing a good job so far. I think it's looking like a serious installment, and I mean, it's going to be Borderlands. I'm fairly certain it's going to be fun. Whether or not it has everything that we need it to for it to really be the Borderlands that we need it to be is yet to be seen. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing, and I'm pretty excited for it. And, you know, there's not a whole lot of positivity about Borderlands in the community. So, yeah, just wanted to give my positive outlook on the whole thing. I think Borderlands 4 is shaping up to be a pretty good, promising installment so far. But obviously, we don't have the game yet. We're going to have to play the game to know what the game is like. But yeah, this is going to be the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a good one. Hope you continue having good ones. And I hope to catch you on the next video, which I have no idea when that's going to be. But whenever it goes up, I hope to catch you there. Remember to like, give me that thumbs up. Remember to comment. Let me know what you think. Don't bully me though. All right, I cry. And if you want to subscribe, that would be awesome. I would like that. But until the next video, I'm gonna have to catch you later. Take care.